Welcome, Congresswoman.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Let's start with your colleague, Congressman Jamie Raskin, and I will get you to respond to what he had to say.
They haven't been able to show any criminal corruption on his part. What they've got is Hunter Biden, and we all seem clear that this guy was addicted to drugs and did a lot of really unlawful and wrong things. And we have said, let the justice system run its course. They're not saying that about Donald Trump.
So he is saying that Hunter Biden did some bad things, not the president. Your thoughts?
Well, I find it interesting that they're now admitting that. And Hunter Biden has also admitted that he had a severe crack addiction from 2003 to 2019. So that begs the question, why would these countries be hiring Hunter Biden for millions of dollars to be on the board of Burisma and to be providing services? What were the services? All we need to do is use common sense. The reality is that Hunter Biden had nothing to sell other than Joe Biden. He had no skill set. This is a gentleman who, by his own admission, had serious addiction problems. And when you look at his history, while he is an attorney, he's never really practiced law. So you have to ask the question, what was he? Was he an expert on Ukrainian employment law? Was he writing contracts? Of course not. He was selling one thing, and that was access to Joe Biden. He didn't have any other skill set to sell.
How do you assess the appointment of a special counsel in the Hunter Biden case?
What I'm terribly disappointed in is that they have the person that they have appointed, Mr. Weiss. This is a man who has failed by every metric for the last 5 years to actually hold Hunter Biden accountable for his illegal acts. And then they're going special counsel to continue to cover up for the Biden crime family. This is absurd. This is ridiculous. I think it demonstrates a level of desperation on their part to try to find a way to continue to cover up what we know is serious corruption coming from the very top of the Biden family, and that's Joe Biden. But the very law, the special counsel law, specifically requires that a special counsel be appointed from the outside, not an insider in the Department of Justice. And I don't think you could find anybody more inside than Mr. Weiss.
To be fair, President Trump, former President Trump, has some legal issues, 2, 3 indictments so far, maybe a 4th on the way if you consider Georgia. How do you assess his legal challenges?
Well, I think that this very clearly is election interference. And I think one of the most troubling ones is the accusations related to January 6th. This is an effort to criminalize freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and all different kinds of things. So it's interesting to me that they continue piling up these charges. And yet when you go into the courtroom, they're asking the courts to make sure that any of the discovery and evidence that they allegedly have against him is shielded from the American public. As a long practicing trial attorney, I can tell you one of the most important aspects of a lawsuit is being able to conduct discovery. But discovery is done in the open, whether it is through depositions or interrogatories or the filings that you have with the court. So they're using the justice system as both a sword and a shield. They're going after President Trump while at the same time they're saying, but the American people can't see the evidence that we have or that he has. He doesn't have the right to publicly defend himself, but we have the right to leak and to bring these charges and all of that and to keep him under indictment. But we're going to make sure that the American public doesn't actually know what the evidence is against him or what his defenses may be.
Congresswoman Harriet Hageman, thank you so much for your time and your analysis today.